Today we're down on the court testing the New Balance 996 version 7. We've got both members of the men's and women's playtesting crew down here. I'm gonna jump straight in with my comments. I really like this shoe. I have not been able to wear previous versions of the 996. I had problems with the heel cushioning and just not enough support and stability from the previous one, so didn't enjoy playing in them. Love this version. Feels really beefed up, offering me lots of support and stability out on the court, which was a really nice surprise. And most importantly, I'm getting all that cushioning that I want under my heels. I think the Fuel Cell cushioning system does a great job of taking the sting out of tough landings. And I felt like I was moving really well in this shoe. Outsole offered a really nice blend of grip and give, so I felt like I could pivot and slide out of a shot a little bit, but also get the traction needed for a quick sprint and an aggressive stop. Uppers flexed and moved nicely with my foot. I did, take a little bit of a break in, probably like the first wear of like an hour hitting session, and then the shoes were really moving well with me. I like the ventilation as well. My arches felt supported, so this one was hitting all the right spots for me. Really like also the padding in the uppers, really comfortable fit around my feet. So really nice update for me for the 996, and obviously my favorite version yet.
I love New Balance shoes, but I tend to like the more stable options from New Balance and have really struggled with the 996 in the past. However, I'm going to say this is my favorite 996 that I have ever worn. Previously, this shoe felt really slappy and like it just had a layer of cardboard underfoot and the support wasn't there, but New Balance has completely revamped this shoe. The second I put my feet in it, I felt like there's tons of cushioning, especially around my heel, tons of cushioning underfoot, and the new lacing system really made me feel supported, as well as that upper. You can tell just by looking at this shoe, it's definitely more supportive, a lot more stable than versions of the past. I kept comparing this shoe to the Adidas Barricade 14, which is my favorite shoe of the year so far, and that is such a compliment to this shoe. It is quick, but it is still stable. It is comfortable, but it's not too heavy. I felt fast in it. The durability of this shoe is insane. I have been wearing this shoe almost every day for a solid month, and I am really struggling to wear out that outsole. So that is for sure one of the positives for me. Plus the traction is awesome. I don't like a shoe that's too slippery underfoot, but there's just enough give that I can feel fast moving in and out of my shots. All in all, I'm really enjoying this update. I think stylistically, it looks amazing on court as well, and I'm really excited to see some colors that come out in the future. And I have to give a shout out to New Balance for always having those extra widths. So for my medium foot, I fit perfectly into that standard width. But if you do have a wider foot, I think this is gonna be a great option for players looking for comfort, speed, support, and durability.
I've had the opportunity to wear previous versions of the 996, and in those versions, I felt that maybe the cushioning wasn't quite as plush as I would like, and that the uppers kind of opened up and weren't as supportive throughout the playtest, but I thought that these 996 V7s really took care of that issue. I did opt to wear the B width, and I do have a D width foot. Just previously, I thought that the uppers opened up too much, and by the end of the playtest in those previous versions, they were not supporting my feet. For the B width, I wore this version. They feel a little snug. They don't hurt my feet, but they didn't open up too much, and I felt supported throughout the playtest. And I really liked the level of cushioning here. I thought it was nice in the heel, as well as in the forefoot, and the ankle collar is also very plush feeling around my feet. That extra cushioning in the heel did offer some issues for me though. I had to pull on the laces around my ankle to be pretty tight, and I was adjusting it throughout a hit to keep that level of support. So that is one issue I had. I liked the level of traction. There were a couple instances where I felt a little bit, I wanted just a bit more give, but for the most part, I always felt sure of foot. I wasn't slipping and I was taking off very well. A standout area for me was the ventilation. I really thought these shoes breathed well. And if I wore colorful socks, I could look down through the vamp, and through that mesh, I could actually see the colorful aspects of my socks. So that was a definite highlight. Overall, very durable, very comfortable. I'm really liking this 996 V7, and it's up there for me with the CT Rallies as my favorites in the New Balance line.
I had an excellent play test with New Balance's update to their 996. This is the version 7. I'll kind of start off by comparing it to the version 6, which I liked, but I will say it was a softer shoe. There wasn't quite enough cushioning in the rear of it in terms of midsole cushioning, and I wore out the upper. I kind of bagged it out like an old set of polyester before I actually wore out the shoe. Next up, the version 7. It is almost a ½ ounce heavier. It didn't inhibit my speed at all on the court due to the extra weight. In fact, I would say it increased my confidence. I felt more supported. It was a more stable shoe. So I felt even faster on the court than I did with the version 6. Traction was excellent. There really weren't a lot of knocks that I could give to the shoe. Ventilation was good. The upper support was good throughout the entire play test, which is important to me because I'm not really wearing out outsoles the way I used to. So this one has really held up. If I had anything, a knock about the shoe, which once I'm inside, I was really supported, but the lacing system really forced me to pull tightly on it to make sure the upper gathered up around my foot. Other than that, this was just a fantastic shoe. If you throw in the fact that it has an outsole guarantee included, then this is definitely one of my top shoes of the year so far. That's a wrap for today. For any further information on this great court shoe or anything else related to tennis, be sure to visit Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.